We are live.
Hello. Hi,
Yes, Abu.
can you please log in? Hi, Rajiv sir, can you please log in?
And you can start.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to the 744th meeting of South Delhi Toastmasters. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before we begin the meetings, there are a few ground rules. Let's take 10 seconds to put our mobile on silent mode. Please unmute yourself only when it's your chance to speak. Keep a pen and paper handy to note down your learnings from this meeting. At Toastmasters, we do not talk about religion, sex, or politics. Hence, it is recommended that we do not talk about it in an offensive manner. Now, let me present the man in black, the charmer, the man who is about to get married soon, our presiding officer, Toastmaster Param.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mayank, for that wonderful introduction every time whenever I come on stage. So welcome you all to South Delhi Toastmasters. I'm quite excited and I'm filled with gratitude today because today I'm graduating in Toastmasters. 3 years back on 25th of August, I have joined Toastmasters and especially South Delhi Toastmaster. Today I am completing 3 years. There's no special ceremony which happened. This is my graduation photo, so I can use it because today I feel I'm a graduate at Toastmasters. So also I would like to share one thing that these members which I can see in front of me and a lot of members who are there in the Toastmaster community, they have contributed me to make me who I am today, the speaker I am. I was very bad speaker but whatsoever I am today, it's because of those people, those leaders who have invested time in me. Thank you so much. And I want to start this meeting with a gratitude to a lady who is working day and night for us, and that's our VP Education, Toastmaster Sonika. She has given us opportunity in the last week to me and Toastmaster Shrejita to be an evaluator somewhere and at a different club. And I want to say that Shrejita has been the best evaluator in that club. So congratulations, Shrejita, and thank you so much, Sonika, for working on us day and night and always taking care of our education. Thank you so much. Also, today is a very special day because today there is a new member who's joining our South Delhi Toastmaster family, and that is Saurabh Saini. He will be joining the meeting very soon, and we will introduce him a bit later. So now I can see there are a lot of new names in the meeting. So I would like to know a brief introduction about themselves. So I can see Arush. Hi, Arush. Welcome to South Delhi Toastmaster Club.
Hi.
Hi, Arush.
Hello. My name is Ash. I'm 10 years old. I study in Amrita Vidyalaya School in 6th standard.
Great, Arush. You have pumped up energy and we are very excited to have you here. Hope you have a great time. Now I can see there is area director from B4 area, Mr. Shekhar. Please welcome to South Delhi Toastmaster Club. Can you share your brief introduction about yourself?
Param, he won't be able to speak because I think he's admitted in the hospital and he's joining us from there.
Param,
Okay.
he is in the hospital right now, so
Okay.
he's there on the ventilator. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
No, not the ventilator, Abu. Just oxygen support.
Acha.
Take care. Now I would like to call the DTM Toastmaster Uma Shankar, who is here in the meeting. Welcome, Uma Shankar, to South Delhi Toastmaster Club.
Thank God, Mr. President, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and few guests like me. I'm here as a guest. Well, I have a strong bond and connection with SDTM. I was member of this club for good 2.5 years, served EC 4 times. And this is a special club which I have learned a lot here. And thank you very much for having me. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Uma Shankar.
Over to
A
you.
very warm welcome to all my guests and members at South Delhi Toastmaster Club. Without further ado, let me call the anchor of the evening. He is someone who's very much eco-friendly guy. A special thing about him, he goes to office on a bicycle, not a bike, bicycle. He's a creative director at his company. He is none other than our very own, our very charming member, Toastmaster Abhishek. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Abhishek on the stage, please.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Any Brad Pitt fans in the house? Please give it a cheer or thumbs.
Yeah.
Whoa, great. So I have a question for all of you guys. How many of you can replicate this image with the help of pencil and a piece of paper? Please give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Okay, I'll show you how. Today, I'm gonna tell you a skill, a world-class skill to replicate this image. But it won't take more than 15 seconds, trust me. But you'll learn it today. Before this, I'm going to ask one more question. How many of you can replicate this image? Please give a thumbs up in chat box. Great. Every one of us. So if you can replicate this gray square box, you can replicate 2, you can replicate 3, you can replicate 9, and so on. And the truth is, you can replicate it. You can draw each and every square which are required to replicate this image. And here we are. I just taught you a new skill. So fellow Toastmasters, 0 to 1. 0 to 1 means going from nothing to something. And that is the greatest leap. And it is it is even greater than going from 1 to 10 or even 1 to 100 or 1000. 0 to 1 means bringing something into existence out of nothingness, out of darkness. This small square is that movement of 0 to 1. I'm sure all of us, like most of us, wants to start a new business or wants to be physically fit, or some of us wants to be a great speaker. But we all are somewhere waiting for the right moment, perfect moment. I tell you that perfect moment won't come ever. Stars will never align for you guys. And the traffic light would never be all green at the same time. You know that term, I'll do it someday, that term someday is a disease that will take all your goals, all your dreams to the graveyard. Until and unless you start action, you take that first step. I accept the fact that in a long-term goal, there are many hurdles in. So those hurdles are not the real hurdles. Those are short-term goals. So divide that long-term goal into short-term goals and focus on them. Like when you saw this picture, you were like, oh my God, how will I do this? And when I show that small box, you were like, oh, I can draw this. You just have to start it. Like you just kickstart you that first step. And which is and you don't have to start it today. It's right now. Not right now, maybe after the meeting. But yes, you have to start. So now coming back to the introduction of the today's meeting. So our meeting is divided into 4 sections. First is prepared speeches, where we have wonderful 4 speakers. Second, table topics. Third is evaluation round. And fourth is make me better, where we get detailed feedback about the meeting. So now I would like to kickstart the meeting on a lighter note. So for this, I would like to call upon very talented Toastmaster, our joke master of the day, Toastmaster Shaman Paul. So give it up for Shaman Paul. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you for a very nice introduction. Hello, everyone. I will be a joke master of the day, and this will be my first role as a Toastmaster member. My name is Shaman, and I've been called just about everything else in the world rather than my name. When I was in school, my PT teacher used to call me chairman. Yes, you heard me, chairman. Imagine being the chairman of the class. My whole class used to giggle, and I used to giggle with them. But I never corrected my PT teacher because I sort of liked the title myself. And this title has even followed me in a painting competition where the announcer, instead of calling my name Shaman, he said chairman. And I never bothered to respond because I thought the actual chairman was being called on stage. It doesn't end there. My house help, who used to drive us to school, used to call me Simon, and it made me think like his history chapter. Now, who would have actually bothered to correct him? I was the Simon Commission of 1927. This gets even more interesting. When I started working, one of my colleagues in office used to call me Hermione because it made her think that it sounded like Hermione from Harry Potter movie. Gosh, I had become a fictional character by now. Not only a fictional character, but I had become a bowl of chow mein for some, a face cream, charmis for some, and the list goes on and on. You know, I've had my fair share of playing roles by just getting my name called. And it's quite interesting. You know, you'd never know what's coming next. I'm just waiting for the day when someone calls me Charlemagne, then I can finally finish being a conqueror too. Wish me luck for that. Thank you, guys. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you, Shaman. I could relate to your jokes. Actually, before this, I asked Sonika, how do I pronounce this name? I don't know. If I if I pronounce it some other way, like she'll be a bit mad at me. Okay.
No.
So those was a great jokes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abhishek.
Now, before we kickstart the meeting, we should have our basics right. So for this, I would like to call upon our very own Shah Rukh Khan of the SDTM, Toastmaster Devin. Please help me welcome Devin.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So our joke master Shaman shared a very funny memories associated with her name. And it also motivated me to share one event with you. When I was in college pursuing my MBA, one of my friends who was in a marketing field once hugged our classmate. She shouted, "What are you doing?" He replied, "It's a direct marketing, ma'am." She slapped him and said, "It's a feedback." After that, my friend mended his ways. That is the power of feedback. My friends, communication process has many steps involved in it. And most of these steps are in control of a person who is communicating it or a sender. And these steps are language, grammar, sentence structure, tone, body language, etc. But there is only one step which is there in the hands of listener or the receiver. It is the step by which he or she communicates back to the speaker that how his message was perceived. So today, I, along with our team of talented expert auxiliary role players and evaluators, try to provide you that much desired feedback. However, in a constructive way, not in a destructive way in which that girl did to my friend. Okay, let me invite our team of talented experts. So first of all, I would like to invite someone who is going to keep track of the most precious thing on the earth. Toastmaster Cheryl in her debutant role of a timer. Please give her a big round of applause. Toastmaster Cheryl, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Devin, for your kind words. So, hello, fellow Toastmasters. I'll be your timer for the day, and I'll be timing the table topic speakers and the formal speeches and evaluations. And also I'll be taking a track of time of all the speakers who will support our meeting today. And also I would like to conclude saying that time is precious, time is value, time is patience, and time is everything we have been waiting for. So let's utilize our given time in the best way possible and embrace it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Cheryl. Now it is a time to invite our very own talented veteran Toastmaster Mohan, who will help us getting rid of us, ums, and other filler words. Over to you, Toastmaster Mohan.
Thank you so much, Mr. J.E. Devan. So as you already said, my role will be to track the filler words and the filler sounds for today's meeting for all the role players. Apart from this, what I will be doing, I will also be keep noticing the long pauses which distract the speaker while they are speaking on this stage. After this meeting, when you will be calling me, I will be presenting my report along with one special tip today. So that is from my end as of now. Over to the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Devan. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohan. Now it's a time to invite another debutant for today's meeting, Toastmaster Shubham. He will be playing the role of listener for today's meeting. Please give him a big round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster Shubham.
Thank you, Devin. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. Today, I will be being for listeners. Listening is awareness speaking that we have heard of a lot of time. But today, I will urge you to look around good listeners around you. I can guarantee you that most of the successful people will be good listeners. When I see around myself as well, I see both bad speakers and bad listeners and good listeners. Like my boss, he is always a bad listener whenever I ask for a leave. And my neighbors, who are very good listeners, they never fail to listen whatever happening in my house. So you will see the example of both good listeners as well as bad listeners. So rather than feeling consternation, let's jump into our feet first and start listening and analyzing those amazing speeches. In the end, I will be coming up with the questions and we will see who all are good listeners. So that's it from my side. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shubham. Now, last but not the least, time to roar. Let's welcome Lioness of SDTM, Toastmaster Shajita as a grammarian. Please give her a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear out this short story of mine. I was playing the role of evaluator in some other club. Now I had no plan of giving table topics. But during the table topics section, the table topic master said, now I would like to call Toastmaster Shajita. At that point, I was filled with the feeling of consternation, which means the feeling of anxiety when something unexpected happens. All I could feel was consternation, the feeling of anxiety when something unexpected happens. I went on the stage and totally ruined it just because of the feeling of consternation, which means the feeling of anxiety when something unexpected happens. But the speaker after me, she came on the stage and totally killed it. Do you know why? Because she jumped in feet first, which means she enthusiastically undertook something and was able to kill it. So I totally ruined it because of the feeling of consternation, which means the feeling of anxiety when something unexpected happens. But she totally killed it because she was able to undertake something quickly and enthusiastically without any fear. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The word of the day today is consternation, and the idiom of the day is jump in feet first. And you still haven't got the meaning? Please refer to the chat box down below. Now, besides using the word and idiom of the day, today you also have to give thumbs up to all those who are using word and idiom. So encourage all those who are using word and idiom. And in my report, besides having names of the people who are using word and idiom, I'll also be noting down the names of the most active grammar listeners. So today you have to use word and idiom, listen to word and idiom, and learn word and idiom. That's all from my side. Back to G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shajita. Now it's time to kickstart the meeting, and for that, I would like to hand over the stage back to our dashing Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhishek. Over to you.
Thank you, TM Devin, for wonderfully covering all the GE instructions. Now, this is the meat of the meeting where we get to hear 4 amazing speakers. Our prepared speech section. So the first speaker for today is TM Vinita. But before calling her on stage, I would like to invite her evaluator TM Sarabjot to read her speech objective. Over to you, TM Sarabjot.
Am I audible?
Yep.
Thank you, Abhishek. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Today, I am going to evaluate Toastmaster Vinita. Speaker will deliver level 1 project 2 from Pathways. The purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic and receive feedback, apply that feedback to a second speech. I wish you all the best, Toastmaster Vinita. Over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Sarabjot. So I asked Vinita, what is her 0 to 1 movement? She gave me a very inspiring answer that every day is her 0 to 1 movement. She starts her day with 0 and ends with 1. She targets to achieve her short-term goal in a day. And that is so inspiring. So let's put our hands together and welcome the most hardworking and fun-loving person, TM Vinita. TM Vinita, what's your pattern? What is your pattern, TM Vinita? Over to you, TM Vinita.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek. Time, 14th August. And date is again 14th August, 9:10 p.m. I just closed my laptop and finally, I was so happy because I got finally 2 days off from the work. 15th August was Saturday and then Sunday. My plans were completely on for those 2 days. 2 movies, some online shopping, good food, lots of sleep, and finally attend Toastmaster meeting without any tension. Just as a chill man. Of course, why not? As I had no role or speech that day. And suddenly, I receive a message on my WhatsApp from a WhatsApp official group. New product to be launched and training to be done on 15th of August. I immediately reacted to that message and wrote, not possible. Tomorrow is government holiday. It is our Independence Day. I just felt that time working on an Independence Day will be wrong. Where is my freedom? And suddenly, two more people jumped into the conversation and asked to complete the entire training on Saturday. By this time, let me tell you, I was completely in a mood to blast someone, or literally I wanted to punch somebody on their face, and thinking that how can someone ask me to work on an Independence Day? And still I thought, let me respond politely, like a good employee, that I will not be doing any training on Saturday. By the time I could just type the message, I just read another weird message that all the training should be completed and done during weekends only. Now I didn't stop for a second and immediately typed whatever came to my mind, saying, I will not work on any weekend. This is your problem. You get it resolved. And in the meantime, I called up my manager and then her manager. And after some time, there was a complete silence in the group. Suddenly, I again read a message. Don't worry, we will complete the entire module by Monday evening. By that time, it was already 1 a.m. Saturday night, and our official Freedom Day has started. But let me tell you one thing. I was not free that day. My mind was not free from the thoughts, from the feelings, because of which I slept late at around 3 a.m. So it was Saturday, formally, the day started. Next morning, my thoughts were still running in my mind. Entire day. How can someone ask an employee to work on holiday? And I cribbed the same story to few of my friends who made me understand that, Vinita, this is a pandemic situation. All the companies around the globe are doing same. Everybody is struggling. Don't worry, this shall pass. I kept all the advisors with me entire day and made myself calm down by the end of the day. But somewhere around 9 at night, around 10 a.m., a message popped up again on my WhatsApp. Vinita, we will do training on Monday. But I must say, this is not right. I don't want my people to waste time. And again, this conversation was joined by a lot of people in the group. I was feeling that I was being attacked for some reason. This thought was going in my mind. And I thought I should rather reply them immediately on the things, whatever is coming. I should take my stand. I should say something for myself. And I started replying on those messages. That this is not my decision. This is company's decision. And I am nowhere to take this entire decision myself. And the conversation went on till 12 o'clock, and my reaction, trust me, didn't stop there. I just called up my zonal head and asked him, please reply on the messages right away. That night, I couldn't sleep till 5 o'clock, trust me. And I slept late and woke up late. And the entire day I was dull, I was not feeling good. And somewhere was thinking of the same thing entire day. And in the evening when I was having my tea, I was just thinking about the whole drama, what went on last 2 days. I realized that time I could have handled the situation in a better way. Instead of chat discussion, I could have dropped a simple mail asking the requirement and passing those requirements to the senior management. I shouldn't have discussed the things on chat, as it might be possible that things might have been misunderstood in a different way by the other person. As when we read sentences, we give a background tone to the sentences. For example, Vinita, this is not right. Vinita, this is not right. My mind was cooking forward what will happen on Monday with all consternation. Who will say what I will reply, when I will reply. And all those thoughts spoiled my weekend. It was very much possible that the rest of the story characters were not at all bothered, must be happy with the family, having gala time and enjoying the moments. So instead of reacting the situation, if I had chosen that time to respond after thinking, my inner peace would have been stayed on the same place. My reaction to the incident was the cause of all the chaos in my mind, and whole weekend was spoiled. We on a daily basis face many situations in life, personal or professional, where we react instead of respond. And in the current pandemic situation, the things have gone worse. We don't meet people. We are in a virtual world of WhatsApp and Zoom calls. So next time, in any offbeat given situation, think before replying. What pattern suits you? Responsive or reactive? And then reply. Just remember, your inner peace is more important, and don't let anyone disturb that peace. A famous saying says, respond, don't react. Introspect before you deject. Every action of yours will create a ripple of effects. Hence, you should observe, reflect, and reply before the time flies. Thank you so much, all the guests and Toastmasters Club. Over to you, Toastmaster Abhishek.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vinita. That was a wonderful speech. I request everyone to provide her detailed feedback on her personal chat. Timer, please, you have 30 seconds for that. Timer, please show red card after 30 seconds. Okay, 30 seconds are over. So now it's a time for our second speaker. He's the one whom we can connect after committing any crime, because he is a lawyer of SDTM, not SDTM, he's a lawyer in his profession. So his name is TM Rustam. Before calling him on stage, I would like to call TM Amit to read his speech objective. Over to you, Toastmaster Amit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhishek. Am I audible?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. I am going to evaluate Toastmaster Rustam. He is going to deliver his Project 1 Level 2 speech, second speech. The objective of the speech is deliver speech on any topic and apply the feedback that he got in his first speech. I wish him all the best. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit. So I asked Toastmaster Rustam what is his 0 to 1 movement. And he wonderfully replied, it would be the moment when the day when I will be independent and would be able to support my family. And this is so inspiring. So let's put hands together and welcome Toastmaster Rustam. Toastmaster Rustam, should books or library be replaced with unlimited access of ebooks? Should books or libraries be replaced with unlimited access to ebooks? Toastmaster Rustam, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Abhishek. Am I audible?
Yep.
Okay. Outside of a dog, a man's best friend is a book. Groucho Marx. The library is inhabited by spirits that come out of the pages at night. Isabel Allende. Good evening to one and all in this SDTM. We are living in 21st century where everything is getting digitalized or being controlled by technology. Some of you may recall or remember that my second speech in this Toastmaster was about technology being a boon or a bane and that we being controlled by it. Today, I will be talking about the process of digitalization and technology entering the reader's world. I'm pretty sure that there are more readers in this world than hair on my head. Few days ago, I was going through my WhatsApp and saw Toastmasters Mandakni's post on things a book lovers do. And that post or story literally covered all the major segments or all the major habits of a book lover, such as reading several books at the same time or feeling happy about thinking of reading a new book and getting sad when a book is about to get finished or has been finished. Life as well as lifestyle is getting changed. Because of this pandemic, everything is getting digitalized and on an online platform. As we can see and we can witness that we are doing it we are doing an SDTM meeting on an online platform. During the end of my 7th semester, my friends and I were traumatized, and a feeling of consternation emerged as our law library was dismantled. But with the start of my 9th semester, we were given a login ID and a password through which we could access free ebooks and e-libraries. But this process of visiting a library and reading there was finished. I was heartbroken. Even though I was not a regular reader, I felt sad. Frankly speaking, I'm no avid reader, but what I love about books is their wonderful smell. I love being surrounded by a huge library. As every coin has two sides, ebooks have pros and cons. But for me, there are more cons than pros. The only advantage that I see with ebooks is that they are space efficient. Several books, several content on one gadget. Now coming to the disadvantages, I can make you count several on your fingertips. First, you will lose your smile that you had while seeing the books and the libraries in physical form. I can bet on it. Second, you will long for that wonderful smell of the books, be it old or new. You will miss the presence of those books that one you used to carry with you to the bed. I can go on with the disadvantages, but I can proudly say that I'm a bit biased towards these physical form of books rather than ebooks. For me, books are a source of learning, and I still prefer to refer a book for all my queries rather than going on an online platform and searching it. I feel that books have emotions. They are a way to connect a people. Through books, we can connect easily. For example, and many of us may have experienced that when we lend or when we borrow a book or even when we recommend a book, we do it with excitement, we do it with curiosity, we do it with joy. and which leads to exchange of joy, exchange of curiosity, exchange of excitement, making the relation between two people stronger, making the connection much more stronger. No doubt technology is good, but at certain places and at certain instances, technology cannot replace everything that is attached with human beings, right? How many of you relate to it? Can show me the reaction? Okay, okay. So technology cannot replace everything, right? Now, nothing will replace the joy, the feel, the ownership we used to have, or we have till date, because of we still are having physical form of books, to flipping on the pages and reading the books. The and this cannot, and we cannot do away with it, because this has become a part of, this has become a part of us. It has become an heirloom. I leave you with a thought, and thought is, can technology literally replace human emotions, or can technology understand human emotions, and can technology replace human heart? Thank you, everyone. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmasters Rustam, for that fabulous speech. I know we all love books. So I request everyone to provide him feedback on his chat box. Timer, please show the card after 30 seconds. Again, I request everyone, as we know, breakfast is a breakfast for champions. All right. So now we come to our third speaker, who is most kind-hearted person of SDTM, the one and only Toastmaster Rajiv sir. But before I call him on stage, I would like to call his evaluator Samrit to read his speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Samrit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. So I will be evaluating Toastmaster Rajiv, who is going to deliver level 2 project 1 from innovative planning. The purpose of the statement is for the member to identify his or her primary leadership styles, or some aspect of his or her primary leadership style, or discuss the leadership styles in general. I wish speaker all the best for his speech. Thank you so much. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Samrit. So I asked Rajiv sir, what's his 0 to 1 movement? So he told me he have a phobia of IT related work. So last week he has joined an online digital course on business automation, and this shows how wonderfully he has accepted the challenge from going to 0 to 1, and that's his moment of going from 0 to 1. So let's put our hands together and welcome Toastmaster Rajiv sir. Rajiv sir, Toastmaster Rajiv, trust Toastmaster Rajiv sir. Over to you, Rajiv sir.
Good evening, Mr. Am I audible now? Am I audible?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests. Trust is one of the most important leadership quality, and my speech is based on that only. The year 2020 began on a very inauspicious note. As the fear of pandemic grew, countries after countries shut down their economies to prevent spread of this disease. Around the world, millions lost their jobs and their livelihood. In India too, the situation is no different. As per the report of CMI, a Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy, in April, nearly 60 million people lost their jobs, and they were aged between 20 and 40, the most prime age. The remaining got two choices: either to take a salary cut or leave the job. They chose the first one. In our company also, we adopted salary cuts. Well, our employees took 50% salary cut. We took, as a management, took 70% salary cut. So we led by example. But many companies are not so fortunate. While their employees took salary cuts, the bosses took the full salary and also incentives. In this social media age, it is very, very difficult to hide truth. And believe me, when the news leaks out and employees come to know that while they were suffering, their bosses were having gala time. They're the one who will put the papers in the first place. In this service economy, talent is the most competitive edge. And when the most talented people leave, your company is left with nothing except monkeys. The year it's in ancient India, transactions were purely based on trust. Hardly there was any paperwork. It was stories tell us that men used to give the strands of their mustache as a transaction, as a security for transaction, and it was acceptable happily. Ramayana told us a beautiful verse. Raghukul Reet Sada Chali Aayi, Pran Jaye Par Vachan Na Jaye. That means in ancient India, the word of mouth was more sacred than your own life. And people gave their life to save their word of mouth. But today, these are mere word sources meant only for preaching and not for practicing. Google, your favorite search engine, started its operations in 1998. Before it, there were 24 other search engines, equal or even better than Google. 20 years down the line, in 2019, Google has cornered 92% of market share, and its turnover, show the first slide please, and its turnover, 92%, Google has taken 92% of market share, and its turnover is, last year was, second slide please, its turnover was $160 billion in year 2000. This is 13. I'm sorry, this is my mistake. It has come. Last year it was $160 billion. Now, what made Google succeed while other failed? The main reason was that Google based in operations on trust. Suppose you search something on a Google sheet. It will give you scores of correct answers. On the right side of the screen, you have paid listings also. Well, you get correct answers free of cost. The advertisers also get some share of your eyeballs, and the Google earns some money from it. It's a win-win situation for all, based on trust.
5 minutes over.
My son is 24 years old. He always believes in in branded stuff. Much to my consternation, I always fight with him because I like to have value. I look for value in product. But over the years, I've also started believing that brands deliver good value at very cheap cost, and it lasts forever and forever. The brands have won my trust. I leave you with a thought. Suppose brands trust is like a piece of paper. Yeah, it's trust
6
is like a
minutes
piece.
over.
It's like a piece of paper. It's plain and fresh. If you crush it, it will never regain its shape again. But if you protect, you have to protect your trust with others based upon three things: personal integrity, with honesty, and openness. And once you do it, your trust will always remain fresh and crisp in mind of users. That's all, Mr. Toastmaster. Thank you. Good day.
Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Rajiv sir, for the great speech and the mind-blowing facts. I request everyone to give him feedback on his personal chat. Timer, please show the card after 30 seconds. I guess 30 seconds are over. So now we have a fourth speaker who is dashing, hardworking, charming of SDTM, Toastmaster Paramjot, and he's even single, ready to, going to be taken soon, as mentioned by someone in the meeting. So before I call him on the stage, I would like to call his evaluator, Amir, Toastmaster Amir, to read his speech objectives. Over to Toastmaster Amir.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Paramjot is going to deliver his project 3 from level 2. The name of the project is Cross-Cultural Understanding. The purpose of this project is for the member to identify his or her own cultural identities and the stereotypes that impact others' perception of him or her. All the best to the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amir. So I asked Toastmaster Param, what is his 0 to 1 movement? So he told me it was the time when he first joined internship after college. And that thing changed him completely as a person. So without any further delay, let's put our hands together for Toastmaster Param. Toastmaster Param, global citizen Toastmaster Param. Over to you, Toastmaster Param.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Can everybody see my screen and hear me and see me properly? Thank you so much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There are some incident happens in your life which bring a paradigm shift in your thought process. Something like that happened to me in the year 2017. I was on my first business trip to Trichy, an ancient and a beautiful city in Tamil Nadu state. As a traveler, I've decided that I will do two things. Thing number one, I will have the authentic cuisines of the place wherever I will go. And thing number two, I will wear the ethnic clothes of the place so that I can get the feel of the place totally. Once I get to know that my work is over, I've decided that I will go and explore the city. So I've decided to explore a place called Rockford Temple. This temple is very famous in Trichy. And I was wearing the attire which I have just showed you. When I was visiting this famous temple, many of the South Indians were flabbergasted to see me. That how can somebody wears clothes like this when he's not from that culture? There was a person who's there with his family. He came to me and in his South Indian tone told me that I feel proud to be an Indian today. Thank you for wearing this. You're looking great. We've never seen a Sardar wearing things like this. Thank you for wearing this. I was feeling a bit different. I've never got such compliment from anybody in this life. I was feeling very much connected. The family took a photo with me and I felt like a celebrity. While coming back to Delhi, this incident took me under solid introspection. Introspection about who I am. And I was feeling very much connected. I don't know the name of that person still. That person don't belong to my community. That person don't belong to my caste. But I was feeling connected. And then I get down to it that our Indian media and some wise old people of our society have created a stereotypical perception about everyone in the world. But let me give you a reality check about my life. The reality is quite different than what the stereotypical perception has been made. Many of my Bania friends like to spend money on me. Many of my Punjabi friends having a deep pockets don't spare 200 for me when I need them. Many of my Jain friends called me and asked me to have dinner at Kareem's. This is before lockdown. And when I called my Muslim friends, let's have dinner together, they told me, Param, you forgot, we are vegetarians from childhood. In this 20 years of my life, I've been come across many limiting beliefs, many limiting thoughts. People told me they are not from your culture, they are not from your caste, they are not from your creed. I really don't know. I was started becoming a part of a growing movement, and the name of that movement is called global citizenship. I was feeling more human. I was feeling more connected to the other person. Global citizenship have a difficult phase for me and an easy phase for me. Easy because I don't need any common grounds like culture, religion, caste, nationality to connect with other person. Difficult because it requires some action, it requires empathy, it requires compassion. As a global citizen, you can connect with anyone in the world with an open mindset without having a doubt of religion, caste, or beliefs in their life. I then dig deeper into what the founders of our religions are saying about it. The message from Islam of mercy and fraternity is not only applicable to Muslims. The phrase from Bhagavad Gita, detachment is you own nothing, detachment is nothing owns you, is not only applicable to Hindus. The message of Guru Nanak that work hard with honesty, and help a needy is not only applicable to Sikh. The teachings, the learnings are universal. Anybody can adapt it. Anybody can embrace it. Anybody can help each other. We live in a society where our politicians lead and try to dominate our thoughts where we should connect. We live in a society where our typical typical beliefs stop us to connect with other person. I've embraced global citizenship in my life. Now I know a lot of people have a perception about me like he's a Sardar, he's a North Indian, he's a Delhiite, but no one make me feel like a human. As a global citizen, I feel more like a human. As a global citizen, I'm able to connect with more people. I'm able to help them. I'm able to think about global issues. I'm able to think about the issues which matter to human. So as a global citizen, I have worked upon myself. I just want to need a raise of a hand here. How many people of you want to have live in a better world? How many people of you want? Please raise your hand. Do you think with this limited beliefs, do you think with this stereotypical mentality, do you think the politician which is dominating you on something will lead you there? No. Our belief of becoming a global citizen, our belief of becoming a more human will help us lead that way. As a global citizen, I ask why. As a global citizen, I reject the naysayers. I'm a global citizen. Are you? Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Param, for that wonderful speech. Now I request everyone to provide him detailed feedback on his personal chat.
Timer, can you please tell me who all are qualified? I think Vinita was not qualified. Please update for Rustam, Rajiv, and Param.
Mayank, Vinita is disqualified, and for the introduction of grammarian Shuchita.
No, just the speakers, just the speakers. Only Vinita is disqualified for speakers?
Yes.
Okay. TMOD, I'm running the poll.
Sure. I request everyone, please vote for the best speaker, as it's your birthright. Mayank, how many we got?
I'm waiting for 2 more people. Okay, I'm ending the polling now.
Sure. So now let's start our second section of the meeting, that is table topics. And it is the most exciting part of the meeting. So for this, I would request Toastmaster Meenakshi, who is one of the biggest lover of books, and she's ready with great topics, table topics. So I welcome on stage Meenakshi, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Over to you.
So much, Abhishek. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. As they say, best moments happen when they are unplanned. I say best speeches happen when they are impromptu. So today we are going to do the impromptu speeches. I would like to highlight why impromptu speeches are very important. You might be in an office meeting where you are given a topic to speak on, or a boardroom meeting, or in a birthday party wherein you have to say something, or it can be your best friend's wedding. So life is unplanned and will always be. The important point here is how supportingly you take it. And my special request to the guests, we would love to hear you out today. So jump in, feed fast. Before we go ahead with table topics, I would like to highlight a few points. To get qualified, you must speak for 1 minute, and post 2 minutes, you will be disqualified. We will show you green card after 1 minute, yellow after 1.5 minutes, and red card after 2 minutes. All right, all the best. Can we have the names in the chat box? We can take Sudeep Khanna. Hi, Sudeep.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Sudeep, can you choose any number from 1 to 10?
Toastmaster Meenakshi 10.
10. All right. So your topic is some people say a little white lie. Is something okay? What do you think? Again, I'm repeating. Some people say a little white lie is something okay. What do you think, Sudeep? Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Good evening to all the Toastmaster guests. Uh, Looking as per the current situation, we always try our level best to be different from others. But in due this particular process, our efforts go in vain, and we analyze why this particular effort go in vain. What was that particular step that did not work for us? By doing a deep analysis, some factor may be in a favor and some factors may not be in a favor. After the analysis, uh, a lot of things comes to play, like communication skill, convincing under, creating a great persuasion. If these factors does not play, a lot of one important thing is that if we create an aspiration aspect in terms of public by giving a lot of manipulation factor, if suppose if you buy this particular product, if you indulge with this particular thing, you would be getting a favor, which is a manipulation factor. For me, giving a lie or a smooth lie or something like that is a manipulation for me, which is being done by most of our, I should say, marketing people to get that particular product or to get that particular selling power done by them. So in my context, a smooth line of telling a lie or something like that is in the form of manipulation. So over to you, Toastmaster Meenakshi.
Thank you. That was a wonderful takeaway, Sudhir. Great. So we have our next speaker is Arush. Arush, can you take a table? Can you choose a number from 1 to 9? 7. 7. All right. So your topic is success is less funnier than failure. Your topic is success is less funnier than failure. Over to you.
We say that the success is less funnier than failure because we have fun in success, not in failure. We can be successful, but in failure, we are so sad. Thank you. And then can't think more about it.
Arush, your voice is breaking. We can't hear you.
Toastmaster Meenakshi, please pick another speaker.
All right. So our next speaker, Aditya. Aditya, can you choose a number from 1 to 10?
10.
10 is already taken. 10 and 7 is
9.
already taken. 9. All right. So your topic is the moment you got out of your comfort zone. Aditya, your topic is the moment you got out of your comfort zone.
Thank you, Meenakshi, but it's an interesting question. The moment I got out of my comfort zone. Well, I think every zone is getting out of your comfort zone because the definition of comfort depends on what it's open-ended. Right now, when we first started the online meeting, it was out of our comfort zone because during our physical interactions, you would have had the opportunity to look at each other. But here, it's difficult to have any kind of interaction. It's difficult to have any kind of non-verbal interaction. So this was the biggest definition of getting out of our comfort zone, because in any physical meeting, be it during our office or class or anywhere, we could interact with the other person through non-verbal. We want to get a message, we could just raise our eyebrows, give a hand gesture, and the message would be sent, or we would be sending secret chits. But here it's a little complicated, and now this has become our comfort zone, but still for 25% of us, we are still longing to go back in that comfort zone. So comfort zone is relative. What's comfort? That depends from person to person. For everyone, it could be Right now, for everyone, it is the virtual world. We say that we're comfortable, yet a section of our brain says it's not comfortable, yet our physical interactions say we are comfortable, yet when we are offline, we are saying, fine, it's over. Now we can go back and talk with people who are actually there. So comfort depends from person to person. Over to you.
Absolutely, Aditya. I totally agree with you. All right. So the next speaker, Sandra. Can we have Sandra? Sandra, can you choose number from 1 to 8?
1.
1. All right. So your topic is, when was the last time you tried something new? So Sandra, your topic is, when was the last time you tried something new?
I don't remember the date, but I remember the thing. I tried something new. I tried something new by joining the Toastmasters and learning good things, new things from you people. And I like learning things and in my speeches, upcoming speeches. I like to learn things and explore things. When I was in class second, I couldn't write, but of 2 days, it was very amazing. So that's all. Thank you.
All right. So the next speaker, do we have anyone from guest?
We have Sana.
All right. Sana, can you choose any number from 2 to 8?
4.
All right. So your topic, Sana, is so you see to believe or believe to see. Your topic is so you see to believe or believe to see, Sana.
Thank you for the topic, Madam Table Topic Master. So you see to believe or you believe to see. I think our belief is something either we are taught as a child or something we learn on our own. For example, when it comes to loving our country or loving our religion or loving our family, it's something that has been taught to us and ingrained in us as a child, and we grow up believing that it's true. We don't question it. We don't question our culture. We don't question our traditions. We don't question our religion or anything. But there are problems in every, I won't say there are problems, but there might be contradictions, and we should try to find answers. So for that, we should question our belief as well. We should not be a blind follower of anything, whether it's our religion, whether it's our country, whether it's anyone. We have to find reasons to have belief in something, so that so that it's something we actually believe from heart, and it's not that has been forced to us. So for me, my belief is something that I'll research about it. I'll try to find answers to it, and then I'll form my belief. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Sana. I totally agree. I mean, we should do our research before believing on something. Great. So our next speaker, Saurabh Seni. Saurabh, can you choose a number?
It's 1.
1 is already taken, or you can choose 2, 3, 5, 6, or 8.
2.
2. All right. Your topic is, if not now, when? Your topic is, if not now, when, Saurabh? All the best.
Okay, thanks. If not, sorry, if not now, then when, right? That's the topic. Okay, great. So I'm amazed with this topic itself because for 11 years, I've been working as the software engineer, and one day come when I realized on the night, I was just sitting, suddenly a day came, a thought came in my mind, what I'm doing. And at that time, I just jump in the feet from feet fast, and was just looking forward to just get out of that and what can I take the action immediately. So what and why I'm not doing it now. So if not now, then when what? Then when? So immediately, I don't know what happened. I just go to another room and start searching for some WhatsApp group and where I can find some financial uh, part and something like that. Then I just enrolled to some groups, and thereafter there is nothing changed. Means in the sense I've been completely changed. Actually, I would say that I was always enrolled a lot of courses, lot of mentors, and within last 2 years I had 3 mentors. I was amazed with those things, and it gave me the another thought. Now, whenever I go to see any book, which just which can give me something, I just go and get and buy that book, or get connected to people who can who where we can work mutually for the benefits. So, and I don't think even once again. I just think to jump in those things as soon as possible. So that's the thing. Means. That's all. And even I can say one more thing. When this table topic was decided, it's the first time I was fearful, and I said, okay, it's not now, then when. Thank you.
Beautifully spoke, Saurabh. I really liked the way you spoke and shared. Thank you very much. All right. So next, I think Mayank, you have been like really eager, so I choose Mayank now. Mayank, can you choose a number?
I'll choose number 6.
Number 6. All right. The topic is your role model, Mayank. Your role model.
Okay, so before I come to speaking about table topics, I think bagging a slot for table topic is much more difficult than speaking for the table topic itself. And when I saw the Google chat on the screen that next would be Mayank, then I started thinking, Bhagwan ke ghar pe der hai, but andher nahi. But now let's come to my role model. So I think over my lifetime, there were many role models in throughout my lifetime. In my school life, it might have been some teacher whom I have looked up to, who when she taught me that how to be good at studies. When I came passed out from my school and just started my professional journey as a chartered accountant, then there was some other role model who taught me how to do the work of a chartered accountant and what else can we do to provide better services to the client. So overall, throughout your life journey, there is no specific role model that you should only have one role model, but throughout your life experiences and everything can teach you much better experiences, and through that you can have role models as well. Even you can be your own role model, that if you want something and you have decided for yourself that I want to be this at the end of 5 years or 10 years. So that future image of you becomes your role model. So I think role models is a very subjective term. It can keep changing itself according to the situations and your experiences. Back to the table topic master, and a big thank you.
Thank you so much, Mike. I really like that you can be a role model. I would really like to be my role model soon. All right. Timer, do we have time for a few more topics?
Actually, we are over. It's 15 minutes.
All right. All right. So, Anush, I think we could not cover you because of the time, but next meeting we're definitely you're going to be the first one. All right. Great. So can we have the poll now? I hope everyone
Yes.
qualifies.
Yes, I'll run the poll.
Okay.
Waiting for 4 people to vote. 10 seconds left. Two people more. Okay, I'm just closing the poll. Meenakshi, you can continue. I've closed the poll.
Thank you very much. I think we would announce the winner at the end of the meeting, right? And
Yes.
over to the Toastmaster of the day. Abhishek?
No, I think Param has
Sorry,
to.
Param. Yes, Param, you're on mute, I think.
Everybody can hear me?
Yes, Param.
Yes. So I request timer to please show me red card at 3 minutes. This is a break time. I request all the role players to stay here because this is a break for an important decision. As you all know, I'm a marketer by profession. So I love to know the ROI of everything I do. That is return on investment. Okay. So from last 7 meetings, we are doing an investment called Make Me Better, where there are some leaders who are leading that part of the meeting. So I just want to know that do you think we should continue Make Me Better session? I request Toastmaster Mayank to please launch the poll, and I request all the guests to refrain from voting. This is regarding our members. I just want to know, do you think we should continue Make Me Better session? Because today we are going to take a decision. Mayank, close the voting at 30 seconds. Once 30 seconds, close the voting.
Okay. Param, 24 people have voted. Should I share the results also? Param, are you?
Hi, Param, can you hear us?
Param has gone into a deep thinking mode.
The results, was it 50%? 50% yes, 50% no.
No.
Param,
No worries. I'll share the results with Param on WhatsApp. I think we all.
Everybody can hear me?
Param is back.
Yes,
Okay, great. So people, I have observed that we got positive response that we should continue Make Me Better. But my request is to you all that all the role players for which we are running this, for which we are investing our time, please stay for that session because that session is specifically for you. And I know there is, I just want to know anybody can unmute themselves and share a feedback on Make Me Better. If you have any feedback, please share that feedback with us so that we can improve. I have one solution which we are trying today, but please share any feedback if you have for Make Me Better. This is an open forum for anybody who have attended that session. I think there is no feedback, right? So right. So what we have planned is, when you want to say something?
No, that's been sorted.
Okay, great. So what we are working towards that we will make the Make Me Better session up shorter, so that what we are going to do is after our meeting we are going to create 4 breakout rooms so that the respective role players attend their own Make Me Better. They don't need to attend, like if you are a speaker, you don't need to attend auxiliary role player. If you are a evaluator, you don't need to attend anchors. So that in the focused breakout room, the moderator would be there and they will provide you the respective evaluation. That way, we will end the requested feedback in 12 minutes, and by 8:50 we are aiming to close the meeting. Okay, so the time thing is sorted for you, but I request every role player for which we are putting these efforts, please stay till Make Me Better session. This is just a humble request. Okay, because this is for you. This is for you. This is not, nothing is coming to us. This is for you. We are doing this for you. So I request timer. Is the 3 minutes are over? Great. So now I would like to call the journal evaluator, Toastmaster David, to continue with the evaluation segment. Thank you so much.
Good evening, all. Welcome once again to the second section, or rather, after the break, you can call it the third evaluation section So here, as I stated, the most important aspect of communication will be delivered to speakers and other concerned people. Let me invite first evaluator who's going to evaluate Toastmaster Vinita's speech. Toastmaster Sarabjot, please give him a big round of applause.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. What is your pattern? Do you react or do you respond? You know, what I really loved about Toastmaster Vinita's speech, she have done a wonderful job in storytelling. The way she created the start of the speech, it kept me hooked till the end. So kudos to you on that. Now coming to the accommodation section. First is hand gestures. You have done a wonderful job. Your hand gestures were complimenting you and actually complimenting your content. For example, you have said, my manager and her manager. It was really amazing. And voice was clear and we were able to understand every single word you said. And the third accommodation is you stand and spoke, which really complemented your body language. You were able to express your anger, frustration over these calls. So kudos to you on that, and you have done a great job in storytelling. Now, as we have a saying, Toastmasters, there is always room for improvements. So here are my few suggestions. Short pauses were missing. These short pauses create an impact on listener. So if you implement this in your next speech, it's going to take your speech to the next level. And second is voice modulation. In the starting of the speech, you have done a great job. In the ending of the speech, you have done a fabulous job. But in the middle, you was little bit monotonous. For example, you were saying, I was not feeling well. It could be, I was not feeling well. You could have dropped your pitch little bit and also the pace. Now coming to the next recommendation, that is the pace of your speech. Pace, when you have the high pace, it was little bit extra. So you could have taken your pace a little bit slower. So we will able to, listener will able to understand the content more clearly. And now coming to the accommodation again, really interesting content. Speech was well structured. Camera position was actually really good. And we were able to understand your body language, your hand gestures very clearly. It was not going outside of your camera. So to summarize, accommodations, hand gestures, awesome job, voice was clear, beautiful expression, great content, great storytelling skills. Now coming to the recommendation, short pauses, voice modulation, pace of the speech, and now my takeaway from the speech. I really learned a lot of things. So my favorite thing was don't react instead of respond. Your story was great example for me. So you have done a fabulous job. I wish you all the best for your future speeches. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Devin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarabjot. Now it is a time for inviting our second evaluator. Our second evaluator is Toastmaster Amit, who is going to evaluate Toastmaster Rustam's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Amit.
Hi, good evening once again. So, speech, should books or libraries be replaced with the unlimited access of ebooks? Very relative topic and million-dollar question. And Toastmaster Rustam delivered and cleared this topic very well. There are two commendation for this speech is that Toastmaster Rustam delivered this speech with calm and compassionate way. There was no rush in his speech and there was no hurry I found during his speech. Another commendation was speaker used the audience engagement. He provided the opportunity to audience to involve and so in that way he engaged the audience during his speech. Also he shared his personal example. So that is also another wow factor in this speech, because while we are sharing this personal example or we are relating these things, stories with, during this speech, then it took the speech on the next level. There are few recommendations that I believe could take this speech to the next level. Number one, if if speaker try to deliver this speech with the standing, then it would be a little better. It would be another level of the speaker. And apart from that, while the speaker delivered his speech, there is a camera angle that could be the better. Like he tried his body language and he used the hand gesture, but that was cutting because camera that are not coming into the camera. So that could be a little better. Now another is voice modulation. Speaker speech went in all speech in one tone, so it was little monotonous. So I suggest that whenever you are trying these type of trying speeches, try to incorporate little voice modulation. Like I was excited in that way. So in that way, it could be a next level. Coming again back on the commendation part, expression was excellent. Like there is a better experience of having the physical book. There is a smile and he having the different smells. So that he incorporated in his speech. Then there is, if I summarize his speech, there was clarity was there, clarity, compassionate audience engagement, and expression was good, and wonderful closing was there. There are few recommendations like standing position could be used, and there is a voice modulation can be tried. So my takeaway is very clear and very fantastic. There is a different joy of having the physical books. So enjoy that experience as well. That's all about from me. I wish him all the best for his future speeches. Over to you, Toastmaster David.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amit, for a wonderful evaluation of wonderful topic, ebooks, which is in prevalence today due to this corona epidemic. Now let me invite our next evaluator, Toastmaster Samrit, who's going to evaluate Toastmaster Rajiv's speech. Please give him a big round of applause. Over to you, Toastmaster Samrit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Devin. Good evening, everyone. Toastmaster Rajiv, bold and confident. He, at the very start, stated speech objectives. To connect with the audience, he started explaining about pandemic and its impact on the corporate sector, such as pay cuts, cutting down jobs, and then suddenly he shifted focus towards his company, in which he is working and is facing similar kind of situation. Then he explained how Google is adjusting and working in the current scenario with the help of beautiful presentation, which involved bar graphs. Let me tell you one thing. He's not a tech savvy person, but still he managed to make one beautiful PPT for his speech. So kudos to that. However, there is a scope for improvement. First, to avoid the long pause in between your speech, you could have been well versed with your speech. I felt that you weren't clear throughout your speech. I had hard time listening to what you exactly said. Third, the speech objectives were to identify your particular leadership style or styles or talk about them in general, which I feel have not been met. However, you ended or concluded your speech with a very beautiful example, which you stated some qualities, the importance of qualities such as personal integrity, honesty, and openness, and one more value. You explained it with the help of very beautiful example. If you explained two cases where these values weren't present, it is similar to the piece of crumpled paper, and where these values are present, it's similar to this plain white sheet of paper, which I felt was very beautiful. My takeaway from your speech was this pandemic has affected a lot of sector, not only corporate sector. And the second takeaway, which I felt, which everyone should follow, do not back out if you have committed someone. Thank you so much. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samrit, for wonderfully covering this evaluation. It was a great job indeed. Now it's the time for last but not the least, the star of SDTM, evaluator Toastmaster Amir, who's going to evaluate Toastmaster Param's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Amir.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Right off the bat, excellent start. In the first statement of the speech itself, there was suspense, which was followed by another statement that had a personal story. So the speaker started saying that here, that place, which made sure that in the first 10 seconds of the speech itself, I was completely hooked to the speech. Then as the speech progressed, I noticed that there was humor also in the speech. And humor was not segregated at one point. It was strategically sprinkled throughout the speech. So for example, when the speaker changed the tone of his speech, when the person pointed out, it said something to him that I appreciate you wearing a dress. Or when the speaker said before lockdown, when the speaker said that we went out to eat, but added before lockdown after it, brought back a lot of memories. So good use of humor. I also liked the way how the speaker used the props. The props at any point in time did not hijack the speech. They were in the right quantity, right duration, and perfectly served the purpose of how the speaker actually looked in his attire. And then the speaker removed them. So good job. Now there was a reference to politicians at one point. The speech anyways was treading on a very tight rope of culture and religion. So reference to politicians, and that too completely in one tone, could have been avoided. The other thing is that the speech did not give me a very satisfactory closure. As the audience, I had to a great extent brought the idea of global citizenship that the speaker was speaking about. And therefore, I was looking forward to something that the speaker can tell me I can do as a first step, take the first step of having that mindset. So it did not give me that satisfactory ending. But this also was one of the best things of the speech that I liked. It was completely from the heart. There was deep emotional sincerity in what the speaker was saying. So there's a very famous quote which goes like this: "You speak from the heart, and the world will listen." Now I cannot speak for the world, but I was definitely listening. So from an overall perspective, the speaker had an excellent start to the speech. There was fair use of humor in the speech, good use of props or slides, and there was deep emotional sincerity. What the speaker can work upon is probably refrain from making unsubstantiated references, taking examples without sharing references, and clear call to actions after discussing an idea, or in other words, a clear key takeaway. But as always, it was a treat listening to you, Toastmaster Param, and I hope to keep witnessing your speeches again and again over here and outside. Thank you, and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you. It was a wonderful evaluation, Toastmaster Amir, as always. So now, second segment of evaluation, where our auxiliary role players will deliver their reports. But before that, I would like to go for a voting of best evaluator. Toastmaster Mayank, are we ready with that?
Eight more people have to vote, now 5. Okay, Devin, I'm closing the voting now.
Okay. Thank you all for voting. Now, before we provide you specific feedback on your skills, I would like to test your listening skills. And for that, I would like to call upon our important auxiliary role players, who is playing role of listener for today's meeting. Toastmaster Shubham, over to you. Please give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, Toastmaster Diven. Good evening to you once again. So I will be asking some of the questions to you, and I will request all of you, whoever knows the answer, to raise your hand in the chat, and then I will choose one of you and you can answer the question. So that will test the listening skills of Toastmasters. So my first question goes here. Toastmaster Rajiv sir said about starting of operations of Google. Which year was that? When did Google start operation? Anyone?
1998.
1998.
Yes, that is correct. The second question will be in the same speech. Toastmaster Rajiv sir said about the market share of Google in search engines. So, what is the market share of Google in search engine?
98%, 92%.
92%.
Yes, that is correct, Toastmaster Mohan. As a traveler, Toastmaster Paramjit decided to do two things. What were those two local and ethnic local things that Toastmaster Param wanted to do?
Cuisine and ethnic wear.
Can you repeat that, Toastmaster Amit?
Cuisine and ethnic wear. Local ethnic wear and local cuisine.
Yeah, that is correct, Toastmaster Amit. What was the plan that Toastmasters Vinita had over the weekend of 15th of August? I'm sorry, Toastmaster Vinita, for this question.
Having shopping and Toastmaster meeting, and there is one more. Online shopping.
Yes, that is correct. That is more or less correct. The last question will be in the initial Men in Black Toastmaster Param said that he has completed a certain amount of time in Toastmaster. So how many years
3 years.
have he completed?
3 years. 3 years.
3 years. That is correct, Toastmasters Mohan. So I will definitely add some of the people to my good listeners list. And now back to you, Toastmaster Devin.
Congratulations.
Good questions, Toastmaster Shubham, but you missed mentioning one thing, that winners will get chocolates from Toastmaster Param. Okay, thanks.
Oh, shit.
Now let me
Maybe
call upon. Yeah. Thank you for that. Now it's the time to roar again. Let's call Linus as a grammarian, Toastmaster Shrajita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devin. Michel Day once said, the greater part of the world trouble are due to questions of grammar. A very good evening to all of you once again. As grammarian of the day, my report is as follows. The word used that was consternation was used by our wonderful, awesome, active listener, Toastmaster Shubham, and the person who was able to connect all of us with the physical books, that is Toastmaster Rustam. The idiom of the day that was jump in feet first was used by the person who bought wonderful topics, that is Toastmaster Meenakshi. Coming to the good usage of grammar, that was first traumatize, that means to injure, that was used by Toastmaster Rustam. Second, dismantle means take to pieces, again used by Toastmaster Rustam. And third, do away, that is a phrase which means to put an end to or destroy, again used by Toastmaster Rustam. Fourth is flabbergasted, that means overwhelmed, used by Toastmaster Rajiv. Coming to the wrong pronunciation, I was able to find only two. First, someone said pronounce, which is pronounce. Second, someone said commendation, which is commendation. Coming to the sentences, which could have been better with the correct usage. First is, they are sourced to connect people. It should be they are sourced to connect with people. Second, in India, situation not different. It could have been, in India, situation was not any different. Third is, we live in society, which should be we are living in a society. Next is there is always room for improvement, which should have been there is always a room for improvement. Now coming to the people who brought beautiful sentences in our meeting. First, time is everything we have been waiting for, brought by our debutante Toastmaster Shirley. Reaction to incident is the reason for all the cures, brought by a wonderful Toastmaster Vinita. And third is your inner peace is more important, again, brought by Toastmaster Vinita. Coming to the most active grammar listener, you will be amazed to know that I have found none who used or gave a thumbs up to people who used word and idiom of the day. I would like to end with just one question. It is said, no, it is, if only reading, writing, and speaking can help, then who is going to listen? Back to G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sajita. Wonderful take, as well as the wonderful closing statement, which will motivate us to look into our grammar more. Now it's the time to call our veteran Toastmaster who was playing or still playing the role of a counter for today's meeting. Toastmaster Mohan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. GE. So in regards to the unnecessary pauses and the filler words, then starting with our own president, Toastmaster Param, who used 6 hours. I'm also including his speech here. And his favorite word is so. I hope that so is going to missing from Param very soon. Toastmaster Abhishek asks 8 times, 2 times, and the favorite word or filler word for Toastmaster Abhishek is so and like. And he also took 4 long pauses. Now coming to the joke master Cheryl Paul, if I'm taking the name rightly, she used 8 hours and thrice. Now Toastmaster Devan as a G was perfect, flawless. Srijita, I could not find even a single message or I can say the filler word from her. Speaker Vinita was also almost flawless, but there were 3 long pauses which can be worked upon in the future speeches. Then Toastmaster Rustam Speaker 2 took 4 hours and the favorite word or the filler word is but. He also took 3 long pauses and he used and word 6 times in his speech that can be worked upon. Toastmaster Rajiv sir was almost flawless if I can exclude the long pauses which were taken twice. Now coming to the speaker 4 who is Param, I already explained but wanted to add one more thing here that the repetitions were there around twice, that is I was and I am with long pauses too. Then coming to the Toastmaster Meenakshi as a Toastmaster, table topic master as 6 times. Then coming to Sarabjot, like the favorite word or the filler word is like and you know. Toastmaster Amit asks 5 and the favorite filler word is so. Toastmaster Sarabjot asks 4 times. Coming to the table topic speakers, then Sudeep Khanna took approximately 6 hours. Then Arush could not hear anything. Aditya 6 hours, and because is the filler word. Sandra 7 plus hours plus the filler word is and. Sana 7 hours with but the filler word is so, and the Saurabh is the filler word is so, and for Mayank the filler word is so. Just wanted to quickly introduce or say one tip for you, that is stop. In case you are not able to identify anything in your speech and you want to you are just filling that speech or that gap with the filler words or the filler sounds, please stop at that moment. Then what you can do, you can just pause, then think about the situation, or you can be blank for 1 or 2 seconds so that you can gather the thoughts. When you are able to gather the thoughts, then start again afresh. By this means, you will be avoiding the filler words and the filler sounds, and your speech will be going to the perfection, and that will be definitely going to add kind of quality in your presentation, in your speech. That is all from my end. Over to Mr. GE. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohan, for such a wonderful and comprehensive counter report. Now it is the time to call our last but not the least talented evaluator auxiliary role player. who had measured time for today. And please give her a big round of applause as she is debuting in this role today itself. Shamin, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Deven. So I'll be calling out the report for today. So Sergeant at Arms Mayank, Toastmaster Mayank spoke for 1 minute. President opening Param 3 minute 16 seconds. Toastmaster of the day Abhishek spoke for 4 minutes 36 seconds. Speeches for the day. Vinita, Toastmaster Vinita spoke for 8 minutes 13 seconds. Toastmaster Rustam spoke for 6 minutes 18 seconds. Toastmaster Rajiv spoke for 6 minutes 50 seconds. Toastmaster Param spoke for 6 minutes 58 seconds. Next come the supplementary rules. The introduction was given by RGE Toastmaster Deven, who spoke for 1 minute 50 seconds. Grammarian Toastmaster Shujita spoke for 2 minutes 15 seconds. Toastmaster Mohan, our counter, spoke for 39 seconds. Toastmaster Shubham, the listener, spoke for 57 seconds. Joke Master of the Day, Toastmaster Shaman, took 2 minutes. In the table topics, there are seven people who spoke today. So first was Sudeep, who spoke for 1 minute 24 seconds. Arush spoke for 32 seconds. Aditya spoke for 1 minute 35 seconds. Sandra took 1 minute 19 seconds. Sana took 1 minute 23 seconds. Saurav took 1 minute 49 seconds. Mayank took 1 minute 15 seconds. And the evaluators took, the first evaluator, Toastmaster Sarabjot, took 2 minute 58 seconds. Second evaluator, Toastmaster Amit, took 3 minute 20 seconds. Samrit took 2 minute 30 seconds. Toastmaster Amit took 2 minute 49 seconds. Toastmaster Grammarian Shujita took 2 minute 50 seconds. Our counter Toastmaster Mohan took 3 minute 18 seconds. Toastmaster Shubham, listener, took 2 minute 28 seconds. That is all. That is all for today. This is my report.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Cheryl, for wonderfully covering this detailed report. Now, I would like to request Toastmaster Mayank to launch a poll.
Mayank, request you to stop the poll at 30 seconds as we are quite back of time.
Yes, I'll just stop the voting at 30 seconds. Okay, I'm stopping the voting now.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tickmaster. If you will always do what you have been doing, you will always be what you are. In order to succeed in our life, we need to improve. And how can we improve? Yes, we can improve by realizing our own mistakes and working on them. But if we have someone to guide us, provide us feedback, then it will be very easier for us. It can chart the way for us for improvement. Now, let's jump in the feet first to avoid our consternation. A Sergeant at Arms beautifully covered club's vision and mission. Good job on that. Then our president, he gave a good address and welcomed guests. He gave a chance to our area director as well as the respected DTM, which is considered to be the highest qualification in the world of Toastmasters. So good job on that. Then comes our TMOD, Toastmaster Abhishek. It was a wonderful job. It was your debutant role. Great idea of introducing the theme with a prop. It was good to see the face of Brad Pitt. Many people like our Toastmaster Paramjot, who resembles like Brad Pitt, could have associated with that. He was smiling throughout. It was good. The only thing which I want to suggest our TMOD is like he should practice it a bit. Yes, it was your first role. It was accepted, but you should practice it a bit. Because of lack of practice, you were looking a bit nervous at points. You were calling he, she, he, but that's very minimal. You can improve on that very easily. Now, let's come to our evaluators, speech evaluator. Our first evaluator was Toastmaster Sarabjot, who evaluated speaker Vinita. Sarabjot followed the good CRC approach. He gave introduction, then he came on commendations, recommendation, summary, as well as the takeaway. In commendation, he commented on the body language of Vinita. It was very good. And because Vinita was suffering from some kind of injury, because of that, she couldn't stood and delivered her message in her last speech, but she did it today. And this was very well noticed by Sarabjot. So good job on that, Sarabjot. But the areas of improvement for you, Sarabjot, is like you didn't comment anything on Vinita's camera angle. Like throughout, I was looking that Vinita was standing like that and the camera was slightly tilted. So it was giving the impression that it is not a perfect angle. So you could have commented on that. And another area of improvement for you, that you had only one speaker to evaluate. You could have read that and remember those pointers. You were throughout reading from your notes. So it was not giving that good impression. But overall, it was a very good, well-structured evaluation. Good job on that. Then comes our second evaluator, Toastmaster Amit, who evaluated Toastmaster Rustam. So Rustam's topic was good, so the evaluation of Amit. He also followed the entire CRC approach. He also gave introduction. He gave the takeaway. In his recommendation, he covered camera angle. And he also commented that Rustam should have stood up and delivered his message. It was a good take. The only thing for Amit is, again, almost it was good, but you could have improved your camera angle a bit and you should look a bit confident. Otherwise, overall, very great job, Amit. Then comes our third evaluator, Toastmaster Samrit. What to call about this guy? He was perfectly smiling throughout his evaluation, and his evaluation was also great. One of the greatest evaluation which I ever heard at SDTM. He covered all the sections which I mentioned, like CRC approach, introduction, summary, as well as the takeaway. In addition to that, while sharing commendation, he empathized with the salary cut and other things which were raised by Rajiv. So good job on that, Samrit. This is what the best evaluator does. Like he picks the point, best point from the speaker's speech, so that a speaker can relate and work on that. So good job on that. And in terms of recommendation, you said like speech objective was not met. So good job on that. Like most of evaluators, what they did is they just read the speech objective, and after that they focus on recommendation and recommendation. But hardly a few focus on speech objectives, which you did. Good job on that. However, there is one area for improvement. You could have commented on Toastmasters Rajiv's static hand gesture. Like he was using his hand gesture at towards the end of his speech. For initial 5 minutes, I didn't see any movement in his hands. And it was not even appearing me whether he was standing or sitting. I still don't know whether he was standing or not. So you could have commented on that. But overall, it was a great evaluation. Then comes Toastmaster Amir. Well, he is a senior and veteran Toastmaster. He followed entire CRC approach, introduction, commendation, recommendation, summary. And instead of takeaway, he clearly mentioned that takeaway was missing. So good job on that, Toastmaster Amir. When it comes to recommendation, he commented on tone. That was good to notice. As well as he commented that Toastmaster Paramjot used the word global citizen. That's a very big word to say. Like if you go into the entire world, global citizen means the someone who has a flair of each and every country, geography, religion, and whatnot. So he wonderfully picked that point from his speech and commented that it should have been dealt with a wide aspect. So good job on that, Toastmaster Amir. Well, there's only one small recommendation for you. Like you could have also commented that Paramjot was sitting. So instead of sitting, he should have stood and delivered his message. That would have been way better. But apart from this minor point, it was a wonderful evaluation. We all look forward to you to learn from you. Now it's the time for our TTM, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Great mix of speakers she chose. She gave chances to guests as well as to Toastmasters who were not speaking, who didn't play any role today. So good job on that. The only recommendation from my side for you is like you should have spoken little bit more about table topics. Like when you came to stage, you would have spoken like what are the benefits of speaking in impromptu sessions like this. So you could have improved on that. But apart from that, it was a wonderful job, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Now it's the time for our auxiliary role players. So starting with Toastmaster Mohan. Yes, he pointed clearly that how many times Param used and how many times another speakers used, 8 times, 5 times. So good job on that. He also shared a tip to improve the performance, but he missed one thing. Like our purpose at Toastmaster is to motivate people, not to demotivate. So he once mentioned that he mentioned 8 times. Instead of it, he could have said that more than 5 times. So that would have been much better. But overall, it was a great job. Coming to Shrejita, it was a good, she counted word and idiom of the day, good uses as well as the bad uses, and did her speech with a question. But one thing she missed, like in her report itself, she mentioned that no one showed the thumbs up. But in introduction, she forgot to tell to people that they need to show or give thumbs up when someone uses the word and idiom of the day. So this is the area of improvement for her. But otherwise, good job as always. Now coming to our listener Shubham, yes, it was his debutant role. He picked the good point like Google formation and all those sort of information. Wonderful job on that. Little area of improvement that he was sitting in a dark. So he should avoid that and sit in a light room which is filled with light. So now I'm done with all, only timer is left. Yes, timer Cheryl did a great job. Again, it was her debutant role. She did a good job. She clearly highlighted which person took how many times. So good job on that and all the best to you for your future roles. Thank you. Now I would like to hand over the stage to our president, or before that TMOD for conclusion. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Devin. So again, coming back to the theme of the meeting, wait, let me share the screen. Coming back to the theme of the meeting, 0 to 1. I want to share few steps which I generally follow to complete any goal. So these are few steps. First, effectively set your goal. Let's say, for example, if you want to be a good book reader, so just give a number, how many books you want to read in a year. Let's say 24. The second step is to break down that big goal. Now that big goal is to read 24 books. If you break down, if you divided 24 books by 12 months, it comes to 2 books per month. If you further break down, you get 15 days for 1 book. And again, you have to drill down. Then you get, if the book is of 300 pages, we get 20 pages per day. So that's how you block your short-term goal into your schedule. So the day when you read those 20 pages would be your day, would be your 0 to 1 moment. So take that first step and make a dent in the universe. Over to you, Toastmaster Param.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhishek. What a wonderful performance by all the first timers. Great. So I request Toastmaster Mayank to please raise a poll for the best anchor of the evening. Timer, I hope all the anchors are in time. Timer Cheryl, all the anchors are in time.
Param, I'll launch the poll. I think everybody has qualified because I was following the time also.
Great. So just close the polling at 30 seconds.
Okay.
I request everybody to please vote. It's your birthright.
Okay, Param, I'm closing the voting.
Great. Thank you. So now this is our time to acknowledge the efforts of the first timers. So a big salute to the 5 first timers of today's meeting. TMOD Toastmaster Abhishek, great job. Listener, Toastmaster Shubham, timer, Toastmaster Cheryl, Toastmaster Shaman, TTM, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Great job. Great job as the first timer. And I just want to salute to all my coaches for helping the speaker becoming a better speaker. Toastmaster Mohan for coaching Toastmaster Vinita, Toastmaster Abu for coaching Toastmaster Rajiv. Thank you so much for all your contribution. Without further ado, as we have less time, now I would like to call the, now I would like to, Mayank to share the best among the best people so that
Yes,
we can
just give me 1 second.
Okay. I just want to share one thing today. As I told you that I'm completing 3 years in the club. I just got triple crown from District 41. So 3 years and I'm getting a triple crown award from District 41 for completing a education award in Toastmaster. I think this day has been a benchmark. And when I joined at that point of time also, Toastmaster Abu was the VP membership. And I still remember on 22nd August 2017, I was following up that I want to join this meeting and I'm very excited about it. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abu, for helping me join this meeting. So here are the results. So best speaker go to somebody who has just spoke some heart out. So it goes to me. Thank you so much. The best speech evaluator goes to our very veteran and a very famous Toastmaster Amir. Congratulations, Toastmaster Amir. The best auxiliary role player goes to Toastmaster Shrejita. Great, Linus. You are always make us proud. Toastmaster, the best table topic speaker goes to our very own and very charming Toastmaster Mayank. Congratulations. And the best anchor goes to the Shah Rukh Khan of SDTM Toastmaster David. Congratulations.
Param, the
Yes, Sandra, I have noticed.
date is wrong. Date and year is wrong in the certificate.
Yes, we have
Thank
gone
you,
back
Sandra,
50 years. We have gone back 50 years, and the date.
Come back in 2020, please.
Sure. Thank you, Sandra, for always being very active member. And we will definitely create an award for you for being an active member in the meeting every time. Thank you so much.
It's my job. I don't work for prizes, and I work for doing good things and learning from you people.
Great. Now I would like everybody to please come on the camera. On this note, please come on the camera and show your beautiful faces so that Toastmaster Mayank can click a memory for every one of us. Thank you so much.
For Rajiv sir, Sudeep, and Abu. Abu is there, but
Mohan, Sudeep, and there is one more Abu. We will talk to him later.
So I want everyone to imagine that 1 crore has been created in your account, and now think of the emotion. Yes, now we're done.
Mike is always promoting his business.
What I'm
promoting? Mayank, you always tease us by saying 1 crore.
He's always promoting his business.
We know that you already have that.
My business is not 1 crore.
So without further ado, let me call the most responsible person, the most person who always takes care of every member in the club. I'm going to call our VP Education, Toastmaster Sonika, to start Make Me Better session. Over to you, Toastmaster Sonika.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Paramjot. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Make Me Better session, in which each speaker of the meeting will be evaluated. So, without a further ado, as we are running out of time, I would like to call the person who will be going to evaluate the prepared speakers. So, the person is Toastmaster Abu. So Toastmaster Abu, over to you.
Yes, Sonika, before we begin, I think we were opening breakout rooms today.
Breakout rooms, no?
Right, right.
Yes, so I am opening the breakout rooms. I have allocated everyone in the breakout room. So let's just hold on. Everybody would have received an invitation to join the breakout room. No, Gaurav, because you did not play any role, so you'll stay with us in this meeting. And you want to be assigned to some other breakout room, I can assign you.
No, it's fine. We can discuss over here even.
Okay. Okay, so yes, we have only these 5 people with us who are in the breakout room. Rest all have been allocated in the breakout room. Rahul, you want to be in a breakout room?
How many rooms are there?
There are 4 breakout rooms.
Like for speakers?
Speakers, evaluators, auxiliary role players, and anchors.
You send me to aux role players if possible.
Okay. Saurabh, do you want to be a part of a breakout room for feedback?
Yes.
Which
No.
should I send you to the anchors one?
That's fine.
Sandra, what about you?
So go in that
Which
anchor. Anchor.
one? Okay.
To learn whenever I'll get it. But to learn it before I get that role.
So I'm just adding you, just hold on.
Yeah, please.
गौरव आप भी चले जाओ कोई रूम में
क्यों कोई काम है?
नहीं
तो यही डिस्कशन करते हैं तब तक.
just hold on, I'll come back, just hold on.
I know that.
अच्छा, Meenakshi Meenakshi would be doing anchors. ठीक है. Okay, I'll just talk to Param and just get back.
Oh, please. Hi, Devin.
Hey, Don Gaurav, how are you?
Hey, Sarki, I'm fine. How about you?
यही तो अब ट्रेंड खत्म करना है, इसीलिए तो टुडे आई स्टार्टेड ऑल दिस कि अंबानी अंबानी कर दूंगा ना कि पीपल विल स्टॉप यूजिंग दिस.
सही है.
यही शुरू किया है मैंने. अब धीरे धीरे सबका नंबर आएगा.
सही है. Abhishek. Hi, Saurabh.
Hi.
Arey, Abhishek, you did an awesome job here today.
Great.
I really like the concept. Yes.
The way you started, na, it was great. The grade you.
Yes. I was a bit confused ki what he is going to speak today. 0 and 1, 0 and 1. I was totally confused with that topic. I had no idea about that.
Even Meenakshi got confused what to get the topics around it.
Deven, you got back into the main room.
Yes, our breakout room is over. Abhishek was there, Saurabh was there. We have received the feedback.
Okay.